Hello everybody, it's Matt here again, and we're in the garage. We've got another box. We got some more cassettes, so let's open them up. Stay tuned. I took the liberty of starting to open the box. Otherwise, you guys were going to be waiting several minutes because it had so much packing tape on it that it took me quite a while to get through it. But we have now gotten through it. And funnily enough, it's actually a box within a box. And I like the box within a box. And I'll show you. I haven't taken this out yet. Here we go. It's Harvest Morn cornflakes. So, packed with vitamins B12 plus D plus B6 plus folic acid. So there you go. This has come from the UK. Not too surprising because these are more Now That's Right for Music cassettes. And I'm sorry if that's not everybody's cup of tea, but you know, it's a part of my childhood, a little bit of nostalgia. I apologize if you can hear a little bit of noise in the background as well, because that is the water heater here in the garage, because the dishwasher is running in the house. So, apologies for that. Hopefully it won't be too loud. All right, I think we're just about in here. There we go. Okay, so this is another one of these eBay deals that I put in an offer for, and it was accepted. So, and it contained, I think about half of these were in that larger unboxing video that I did a few weeks ago, but about half were not. So it was a pretty good deal. Even with shipping, it wasn't too expensive. So I'm just going to dig in and pull out tapes one by one. And what's nice as well is that the ones that I do already have, I'll be able to reuse some of the cases. So anyways, we'll start off with this one. Now 17. This came out in 1990, the first part of 1990 actually. Was it summer? I don't think it was. I think it was earlier in summer. It probably came out around March or April, I would think. Now somebody's carved something into the side here. I don't know what that is. Somebody's name. Yeah, I think so, but I can't make it out. Anyways, now 17. The tape is pretty standard fare here. Those black cassettes that I grew up with, and I always quite like now 17. I didn't have it when I was a kid. I had a best friend who had it. I think I borrowed it once or twice, but in terms of number ones, it does have Killer by Adamski. That might be the only one. I think it's the only, oh, Don't Be Good to Me, Beats International. I think that was number one too. But side two in particular is really good. You've got a whole kind of Manchester music thing going on with the Happy Mondays and Primal Scream, Depeche Mode's on here, Jesus Jones, In Spiral Carpets, The House of Love, Faith No More, the Choir Boys. But anyways, highlights from the rest of this would be Erasure, Paula Abdul, Opposites Attract. That's good. An interesting cover version of the Beatles' Strawberry Fields Forever by Candy Flip. Tina Turner's on here, Phil Collins, Technotronic. So yeah, it's pretty good. I quite like that. I don't know what this next one is. I can't tell because all I can see is the bottom of it. We'll have a look. It is okay. Now 20. This came out in 1991, at the end of 91, around November, I believe. Again, we've got the old familiar black cassettes with the thin window right there. And I quite like this one. It's got some nostalgia for me. We've got some good stuff from Belinda Carlisle, U2, The Fly, that was the number one, it's a great track. Pet Shop Boys with The Streets of No Name, that's another great track. Erasure, Love to Hate You. Zoe, Sunshine on a Rainy Day, that brings back memories, that really does. It's just the opening, like 20-30 seconds of it, takes me right back to being about 12 years old. Also on here, Paula Abdul is on here, Kathy Dennis, Glass Tiger, My Town, I always like that song. Too Unlimited, Get Ready for This, classic dance track, or trance, I guess, technically. And yeah, it's got a few ropey moments on it. Monty Python, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. Let me see why that was on here. There has to be a reason. It was in a commercial maybe or something. Let me have a look. See if it tells me. It was originally featured in the film On the Life of Brian, and it was released as a single by public demand, raised to number 3 in October 91. Right. Who knew that there'd be such a public clamor for a Monty Python song? But, there we go. Now 20. Now this was also the very first Now album to use this 3D logo, and pretty much every single Now album since then has used a variant of this to one extent or the other. Prior to this, as we can see, just go back a year or so, now 17, it's just kind of a 2D, it's supposed to be kind of a digitized, pixelated image. That was sort of becoming the thing then, right? Digital stuff. Anyways, some of these are wrapped individually, and it looks like I've got a TV guide on here. UK TV guide. That's cool. Now 25. This is from 1993, I think. Pretty sure it's 93. It is 93. That's the one of the tapes. And this has got George Michael and Queen, Somebody to Love. That was at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert after he passed away. REM, Everybody Hurts, good stuff. Ace of Base, All That She Wants. Dreams by Gabrielle, a couple of number ones right there. Freddie's on here as well. Living on My Own was remixed, was a big hit in 93. Too Unlimited's on here. No Ordinary Love by Sade, what a great track that is. So yeah, it's decent. It's a decent album. Next up we have Now 12. I am not going to go over the track listing of this because I did feature this on the bigger unboxing video that I did, so I'll just show it. Now 12. Same goes for Now 10. Again, this was in the larger unboxing video that I did. The cassettes are different. It's a black shell. I think it was a white shell with the other unboxing video. So you know, I might I wouldn't expect there to be any difference, but just the shell differences maybe mean that there were slight tape differences too. But I guess I could give it a quick listen to compare, but I'm not expecting to hear much that's too noticeable by way of a difference. This one, here we go, with a new one. And by new, I mean one that I didn't previously show. Now 15, this came out the summer of 1989. I remember it well. I remember buying this on vacation, spotting it at some, it's like a little independent music seller. For some reason, I have it in my mind that I got this in France. I don't know why that is. Maybe, but anyways, honestly, this is one of the worst Now albums up to this point, along with probably 4 and 6. It's got a couple of classics on it. So Soul to Soul, Back to Life, great song. I Want It All by Queen is a good song too. The Look by Roxette. I do think License to Kill by Gladys Knight, which is from the Bond movie. I think it's one of the better Bond theme songs. Pet Shop Boys, it's all right. It's pretty good too, but it's got cassette 1, side 2 is really ropey, and it's just got a few songs on it that are kind of like, yeah, but you know, like I say, nostalgia and all that. What do we have next? Excellent. Now 8. This is from 1986, towards the end of 86, I think. And this is what I remember the cassettes being when I was younger too. I didn't have this at the time in 86, but I did get it from a car boot sale many years later. As a, I don't know, I might have been a very young teenager, but Anyways, I think this is a pretty decent Now album. It does have Duran Duran, Notorious, Pet Shop Boys, Suburbia. We've got Run DMC, Walk This Way, Communards, Don't Leave Me This Way. What a huge song that was. Swing Out Sister, Breakout. Steve Winwood, Higher Love is good. OMD, Forever Live and Die. Always got time for that one. Genesis, In Too Deep. What else is pretty good on here? Mel and Kim, Showing Out. Jermaine Stewart, We Don't Have to. ... They don't put the full title. We don't have to take our clothes off. Which I don't know if that was some kind of I don't know, prudish thing maybe. But anyway, Janet Jackson, What Have You Done For Me Lately is good stuff. Human by the Human League. Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush, Don't Give Up. Status Quo in the Army Now, which I think was a pretty big hit. I think it got to like number 2. I like that song. The Status Quo done quite a few songs that I really dislike, including a couple that made their way onto Now albums, but I kind of like In the Army Now. It's nostalgic. Cutting Crew, I Just Died in Your Arms. That's a great track. Kim Wilde, You Keep Me Hanging On. Another really good one. And it also has The Wizard by Paul Hardcastle on here, which for those who may remember was used as the theme song to Top of the Pops for a number of years in the UK. So, Now 18, I showed this one on the previous longer video, so I'm not going to go through the tracks on that. Now 22, another one that I showed previously, so no need to cover it in any detail. There should be a couple more in here that I didn't show before. Now 26. I don't think was that one in the last. I don't think it was. Ooh, I like that. I like the look of that. I can't remember. Yeah, no, I think I did show it. I think this wasn't the last one. But anyways, it's got good stuff by like Culture Beat and Hathaway. A lot of dance music on here. Capella, Go West, cover version by the Pet Shop Boys, etc., etc. Apologies, my phone was running out of storage space, so I had to cut that off a little early. But let's keep going. Next up, we have Now 23. This is from the end of 1992. I remember it well. I remember quite a few of the songs on here from the time. I used to take my Walkman, and it was a Walkman that had built-in radio as well. And I would put earphones in and listen to talk radio, BBC Radio Sussex to be exact, which I don't think exists anymore. I don't think it got, like, if it merged with some other BBC radio company, I forget. But in any event, I used to listen to that at night. And they would play music on it occasionally too. And so I remember quite a few of these songs. But anyways, we've got our standard narrow window black tape right there. I think the opening 1, 2, 3 salvo is up there with any Now album on this. I really do. We've got a big number 1 by Tasman Archer, Sleeping Satellite. Then John Cicada, Just Another Day. That's a really good song. Charles and Eddie, Would I Lie to You? That's another song I really like too. And it's really weird. It's really up and down. This for me. It's got some good stuff like The Shaman and Ebony's are good. Rage, Run to You, cover of the Bryan Adams song. E17, House of Love, I think that's a good song as well. But it's got a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of either cover versions or remixes / reissues. So, for example, Iron Lion Zion by Bob Marley and the Wailers is on here, so that's 1. People Every Day, Arrested Development is 2. Take a Little Piece of My Heart by Franklin is 3. Erasure, Who Needs Love Like That is 4, which originally been issued in the mid-80s, but didn't do very well. Rage, Run to You is 5. Temptation, Heaven 17 is 6. The Farm, Don't You Want Me is 7. Never Let Us Slip Away by Undercover is 8, which was originally an Andrew Gold song. Alive and Kicking, Simple Minds is 9. Boom Boom, John Lee Hooker is 10. Dancing Queen ABBA is 11. A Little Respect, Yawn Again is 12. Crying, Roy Orbison and Katie Lang is 13. And Barcelona, Freddie Mercury and Montserrat Cabal is 14. Which I was reissued for the 92 Olympics. So, which was in Barcelona, right? Yeah, that's why, Barcelona. Yeah, and that's not even counting the Tetris and Super Mario Land songs that are on here. So, yeah, I think overall it's not a great album. I just like the first 3 tracks, honestly. So, anyways, we've only got a couple left in here. We're nearly through it. Now 14, and I don't believe this was in the previous batch that I showed. There's the tape. A lot of memories with this one too. I remember a little bit embarrassing, but I was only let me think. This came out in 88 or 89, sorry, early 89. So I was about 10 roughly when this came out, and I remember putting on cassette 2 side 1, and which has several kind of house dance pop type tracks, and dancing to it in my grandparents' kitchen, while I'm sure being told all the while that I had it cranked up too loud. Anyways, some good stuff on here. Mark Ullman and Gene Pitney, Something's Got a Hold of My Heart, big #1 hit. Phil Collins, Two Hearts, which was from the Buster movie, which I haven't seen that in years, but I remember it was a good movie. Stop by Erasure is on here. A really nice Kim Wilde song, 4-letter word. I like that song. Cracking track by Sam Brown called Stop. And Sam Brown, was it Joe Brown she was the daughter of? It's going to tell me in here. Let me see. Yeah, Joe Brown. Joe Brown. Picture of You and all that, which is a good song. Yeah, he was big in mostly the 60s. Quite a lot of hits. Anyway, we've got Roy Orbison, You Got It is on here. A couple of classics here. Finding a Cannibal, She Drives Me Crazy, and In Excess, Need You Tonight. I mentioned Status Quo earlier. We've got an absolutely horrific song on here, Burning Bridges, On and Off Again, which is just atrocious. But there we go. Poison, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, and Simple Minds, Belfast Child, that was a #1. And that side, cassette 2 side 1 that I mentioned, which has the sort of more dance, house oriented songs. We've got Nina Cherry, Buffalo Stance, Inner City, Good Life. There's a couple of classics right there. S Express, Hey Music Lover, always like that one. Living in a Box, Blow the House Down, I like that one as well. Robin Beck, First Time is on here, which actually is really the end of 1988, but it was a big #1 hit, and it was on a Coca-Cola commercial. I remember that. Paula Abdul, Straight Up, which was that her first UK hit, Straight Up? It was definitely the first song to be on a Now album of hers. I think it was her first big UK hit. And yeah, there's a few other songs on here, but that's kind of the highlights. All right, last one. Can't think what it is. I'm trying to think what was in the pack. Here we go, or in the auction rather. That's Now 16. I showed this last time. Funnily enough, I actually had this on today. I was listening to cassette 2 from the first big lot, and it did have a little dropout at one point. It just got slightly muffled, not for long, a few seconds. I'll have to try to remember which song that was on, so I should try to see if any of these cassettes play better. But yeah, Now 16, the very last Now album of the 80s, came out in probably November, the end of 1989. Doesn't have any #1s on it, but I went into that in that other video that I mentioned. So I will, you'll see a little ad for that video if you haven't seen it yet. Stick around right till the end of this video and it'll come up in a little thumbnail if you'd like to watch that. So thanks as always for watching, everybody. Again, this went a little bit longer than I intended, but you know, we did get to see Cornflakes and we got to see some Now albums. So thanks for sticking around. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Always appreciate everybody who comments and subscribes, and until next time, bye bye.